Hello sports fans, welcome back to another video. Today we will look at the New England Patriots, who were just terrible in 2023. They had their worst season in a while with a 4-13 record. And honestly, people expected, I feel like, a little bit better than this. Like, they didn't have amazing expectations, but 4-13 is pretty bad. And their offense was a big culprit of this. They were one of the worst in the league. You know, I would say that the Panthers were the only team that probably had a good case as being worse than them. And their defense was pretty good, but it just wasn't nearly good enough to match their terrible offensive output, or at least make up for it. Now, they do have a new quarterback, and without Belichick, I do wonder how this Patriots team will fare in 2024. So talking about the Pats offense, it's a mess right now. They drafted Drake May, and I think he's a fine quarterback, or at least has potential to be a fine quarterback. It seems that the Pats will look to start Jacoby Brissett to start the year, but let's start with the receiving core on this offense, because they have Demario Douglas as their number one receiver, which I don't think is a good choice as a number one receiver, and they'll really have to rely on their rookies, you know, to have great seasons if they want to have any success there, especially after Kendrick Bourne tore his ACL. But rushing wise, Ramondre Stevenson, he was pretty banged up last year, and I just don't think he'll produce the way he did in 2022. And a lot of that is because their offensive line is just atrocious. You know, it's so bad. And if and when Drake May plays this year, I feel it'll be like a Bryce Young type of situation last year. And I am going to choose this to be the worst offense in the league. Well, defensively, at least it goes a little bit up from that. Actually, it goes a lot up, because they don't have Belichick, and I think that is something that could really affect their defense, you know. And I don't have a great idea on what's going to happen, but getting Christian Gonzalez back will be a help in the pass defense, and Jonathan Jones playing alongside him, you know, should make a pretty good duo there. Jabril Peppers and Kyle Duggar will also defend, because they're quality safeties, and it'll be interesting to see what you know, the former linebacker does as a coach. But I do wonder how the linebackers will fare just overall. I don't think they're that good. And I do have confidence in their defensive line. Matthew Judon will hopefully play more games this season. So I think their defense, you know, it could be just outside the top 10 is probably my prediction. I think that the Patriots will end up being around the same level as last year, because their offense is just largely the same. You know, they could have some hopes that the defense will be better due to health, but just missing Belichick greatly impacts that side of the ball. And like I said, I don't really have a great idea on how it's going to go. I mean, I predicted like maybe just outside the top 10, but still, you know, the Patriots without Belichick is just something that I can't imagine. So we'll see how it goes. But I think they'll get 5 wins overall, which is a slight improvement over last year, but they're still going to be very bad. And I think that this team has a ways to go before they'll get out of the gutter. But for fantasy, I don't really know how much I like any of the players, except for like just drafting their defense. Maybe Mondre will have a great year, but the options aren't too good for drafting Pats players. But thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more.